But that one was the one, but it was for the wrong. It had the wrong result. It made him a very, very dangerous man, and you could see how intense he was on wanting to go out there. And even when he was throwing in early in the fight, when he was throwing counter punches, I've never seen him throw with that kind of, like Mike Tyson used to say, bad intention.
Any kind of success or any kind of result, especially after that performance. Usyk's getting better and better. He just improves every time he fights, and now he's bigger and thicker set, 20 pound heavier tonight than what he was when he beat Usyk.
In his recent training videos, Usyk looks better than any other fighter. His training style is unique and unusual, making his awareness very sharp. It's as if he can see every punch before it comes. His movements are smooth, accurate, and almost unreal. This special training method makes him very hard to hit, which is why no opponent... Many people questioned if he could stay strong and keep winning against younger, stronger heavyweights. Alexander Usyk went into his rematch with Daniel Dubois with a lot of doubt around him. But instead of looking worried, Usyk gave a brilliant performance that silenced his critics. His timing, footwork, and composure were unmatched throughout the fight. Russ Somber said Usyk entered the ring with a point to prove, and he did exactly that. He controlled the match, broke Dubois down with precision, and showed his skills are still world-class.
I was surprised.
Yeah.
I was surprised because I had never seen him so intent on wanting to knock somebody out. It's the quickest knockout he scored, I think, in his professional career.
Yes, even at cruiserweight.
Yeah, I'd have to look to be sure, but it's the quickest knockout he scored. He was a man on a mission.
Yeah.
He was really personally hurt and offended by the remarks made by Team Dubois, by George Fox, Don Charles' son, by Don himself. I think the straw that broke the camel's back was questioning Usyk's faith.
Yes.
Now you could question a lot. You can question his skill, question boxing, or whatever you want. Questioning his faith, bro.
Yeah.
That was something that really hit a chord, and you don't often. Tyson Fury couldn't get to
he tried
Usyk
every head
mentally,
game in the
right.
book.
But that one was the one, but it was for the wrong. It had the wrong result. It
Yeah.
made him a very, very dangerous man, and you could see how intense he was on wanting to go out there, and even when he was throwing in early in the fight. When he was throwing counter punches, I've never seen him throw with that kind of, like Mike Tyson used to say, bad intentions.
Yeah, bad intentions, yeah.
He was throwing with bad intentions, yeah.
Usyk's greatness goes beyond boxing. At the peak of his career, he made the brave decision to serve his country when war broke out in Ukraine. While others might have run to safety, Usyk chose to defend his homeland. This sacrifice earned him huge respect at home, and showed he has not only the pride of a champion, but also the courage of a patriot. His journey from being overlooked by some British fighters and fans to now being recognized worldwide as a once-in-a-generation.
Usyk's involvement in the war began when he enlisted in the Ukrainian Territorial Defense Forces after the Russian invasion. His decision to fight for Ukraine has had a profound impact on the country, making him a symbol of hope and resistance. Usyk's presence on the front lines has boosted the morale of the Ukrainian military and civilian population alike. So this man kept his heavyweight championship, continued to be heavyweight champion, no losses, nothing on his record, and still went and defended his country during war. Given that, you gotta give him the greatest heavyweight fighter of all time. His accolades inside the ring match it. But now that I find this out, that the man was in the front line, and they said that even after the Fury fight, he was keeping in contact with the soldiers, and he was, boosting the morale and boosting his countrymen and raising money for the war, regardless of the politics, whether the war should be going on or not and who should be killing who, it don't matter. The man went to war.
Carl Froch openly admitted Usyk's steady rise to dominance. With every fight, Usyk becomes more polished, stronger, and smarter in the ring. Froch said Joseph Parker wouldn't be a real threat because of his past losses and weaknesses, especially compared to the challenge Usyk offers. He even suggested Usyk might consider retiring soon, given all he has achieved. Usyk has won titles in multiple divisions, defended them, and proven he's the best of his era. Facing someone like Moses wouldn't add to his legacy. Froch's opinion is one meant
heavier tonight than what it was when he beat Fury, which I said earlier. He just looks like a big, solid heavyweight, big, solid, dangerous heavyweight, but I'd like to see him retire. He's 38 years old. Eventually, it's going to catch up with him, the age, and there's nothing left to do. He's made an absolute fortune, and he don't need it anymore. He's done it. He's clocked it. He's completed it. It's like he's got the cheat code, and it's like it's not fair on everybody else. So I'd like to see Usyk retire. Let me know in the comments who you'd like to see him fight next. Somebody like Moses Atoma, I just don't think is going to be ready. I think if you're managing Moses, you need to take your time with him. You can't be chucking him in there. People say, yeah, chuck him in there with him, fight him, see how he goes. If he gets beat, he's lost to Usyk. But it could destroy his soul. It could take away that young, promising prospect that Atoma is. He could have a good future, and to fight somebody like Usyk now, if he got wiped out and got disheartened, it could be the end of his career. So I just think Usyk now, really, nobody can say anything to Usyk if he retires now after that win. He's done everything there is to do. Fury twice, AJ twice, now Dubois twice. There's nobody else left to beat. He's done it. Usyk should just hang the gloves up. He's been a fantastic addition to the heavyweight division since coming up from cruiserweight. He's been absolutely brilliant, and what he did tonight against Dubois was nothing short of just, he made it look easy. And I don't want to disrespect Daniel Dubois, but he just made it look easy, and he does make rounds look easy, doesn't he? Whoever is in with, whether he's in with Tyson Fury, whether he's in with AJ, he makes it look easy.
Joseph Parker's name is still being mentioned as a possible next opponent for Usyk, but few believe it would be a real challenge. Most see it as a mismatch because of the difference in styles and experience. A. Oladipo offered another idea, bringing back Derek Chisora for a rematch. His reason wasn't about competition, but about entertainment. Chisora is known for making every fight feel like a big event, no matter the outcome. His rough style, wild energy, and showmanship could attract attention. Still,
then, well, here it is. Here's your world title shot. You're going to fight for a world title, right? But if you're Joseph Parker, and I spoke to Andy Lee, it isn't just a case of fighting for a world title. You want to fight the number one for the world title, and that guy is Alexander Usyk. So, yeah, there must be loads of conversations going on right now. Loads of conversations. I did say this the other day, and I don't know, sometimes I'm like, you know, when I was in the ring and I was interviewing Alexander Usyk, I was desperate. Because of my love for Joseph Parker, I was desperate for Joseph Parker to get... I know he got in the ring after, but I'm talking about on the zone. So whilst everyone is still in the stadium and everyone's still tuned in, I was desperate for him to kind of just jump in the ring. I was desperate for him to do it. Chisora was trying to do it. So Chisora knows how to play the game. And as much as people are like, what's Chisora doing? Chisora won't get the fight, but that's kind of what you got to do. And I know people are like, well, 1 second, it's not like that. It's rankings. Well, no, it's not though, is it? Because, again, Alexander Usyk can vacate the belt. He can say no. You have to kind of do what Daniel Dubois did last time. Daniel Dubois, rightly or wrongly, got in the ring, pissed Usyk off. Usyk's like, okay, we'll if fuck it. If this is what you're doing, dude, we'll fight. And I felt like there was a time where I wanted Joseph Parker to almost nudge me. And I'm telling you now, you know, we're kind of told not to give the mic. I don't know if you see, I always hold on to the mic. I would have given Joseph Parker the mic. And I would like Joseph Parker because there's a mean side to Joseph Parker. I think everyone sees the friendly side. I've seen the mean side. And I wanted Joseph Parker to say, I want my shot. You've been ducking me. All these things might not be true, but do it. Sell it. The crowd would have gone a bit wild, right? Because I think a lot of the crowd want Joseph Parker to get his shot. But that's not what happened. And all of a sudden, you're seeing Jake Paul in the ring doing a face-off. You're seeing all these, and I'm like, where's Joseph Parker? Where are you, Joseph?
It's no surprise that some compare Usyk to Muhammad Ali. Even though their styles are different, the kind of greatness they display feels similar. Both have a level of ring intelligence that goes beyond natural talent. They win fights not just with punches, but with timing, tactics, and strategy. Usyk's ability to read a fight, adjust, and break down his opponent reflects the same qualities that made Ali a legend. The comparison isn't about fame or...
Interesting heavyweight division, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys thought of Usyk's performance, where he ranks on the all-time list. I know, everybody was big into their nostalgia, but remember, Soviets were not turning pro until the 90s, and I think that makes a big difference. That's another thing. Heavyweights are bigger. Lefties are more common now, and also the Soviet era of fighters did not start turning pro until the 90s. So the old days, they didn't have to deal with those guys. So a lot of things that also favor Usyk being a GOAT. But of course, man, it's hard to pick against Ali being the GOAT.
Roy Jones Jr. admitted he was surprised at how easily Usyk broke down Daniel Dubois. While Dubois is known for his power and size, Jones said his game plan was far too simple to trouble someone as skilled and smart as Usyk. In Jones's view, brute strength alone will never beat him. To defeat Usyk, a heavyweight needs more than muscle. They need strategy, intelligence, and the ability to adapt. Usyk studies opponents like a chess master, spotting patterns and turning the smallest mistakes against them. Jones stressed that without a near-perfect plan, no one can survive in the ring with Usyk. Coming from a legend like Roy, this shows the huge gap between good heavyweights and truly elite ones. His view is blunt but true. Usyk doesn't just win, he breaks opponents mentally. Any fighter who thinks power is enough is already heading for defeat. Roy's words reveal a deeper truth.
Alexander Usyk, what did you make of his display against Daniel Dubois last Saturday? It was something else, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, but it was nothing less than I expected, because if you make a guy quit with a jab, Spencer, you know this, if you make a guy quit with a jab, how is that guy ever going to beat you? You understand me? That's just what the real facts are. Not that the kid hadn't got a little bit better. He got a little more confidence because he had a win over Joshua, which was good, but confidence is just not enough to beat a guy like Usyk. You got to have some technique. You got to have some grit. You can't lose him with a jab and think you're going to beat him. That's not going to work.
Roy, you was a smaller guy that went up and won the world heavyweight title, one of the only ones to do that from middleweight up to heavyweight. How does someone beat Alexander Usyk? Is it the smaller guy? Is it the guy that's coming up in the weight divisions, as opposed to the bigger heavyweights?
No, the bigger guys could beat him, just got to have the right fight plan. None of these guys fight him with the right fight plan. And I'm not going to tell them the right fight plan because that's not my job to do. But you got to have the right fight plan to fight Usyk. If you don't have the right fight plan, he's going to destroy you.
What sets Usyk apart from many champions is his mindset. Even after becoming a unified champion, he stays humble. He never enters a fight thinking it will be easy. His training is always intense and focused because he respects every opponent. That humility keeps him sharp. While some fighters get overconfident after big wins, Usyk treats every challenger as dangerous. His discipline and mental strength keep him consistent. It's not that he lacks pride. His pride is in the work, not just the result.
What are the dangers that Daniel Dubois brings to you this time?
Daniel, young guy. Daniel, dangerous every time because this guy have good punch and good boxing skill. But I must be careful because it's boxing. But I prepare for this fight.
Will you stop him this time, do you think, or will it go 12 rounds?
Listen, I prepare every time on 12th round because we with my coach, with my team, we prepare 12th round. But if I have chance, I do it.
Do you believe you will stop him?
Yes, of course.
Usyk's rise from cruiserweight champion to heavyweight ruler was more than a physical change. It was mental and strategic growth. He didn't just get bigger. He mastered a new weight class by adapting his style while keeping his core skills. Beating Anthony Joshua twice proved he can match and outthink the biggest names in boxing. What makes him even more admirable is his character outside the ring. Pausing his career to defend Ukraine during wartime speaks volumes about his intent.
But he must go away and make the adjustments, do some learning. But that can only happen if he can let go of his dad. And I mean, when it comes to the boxing, the fact of the matter is, if his dad was good enough for the job, he would already be in his corner. Alexander Usyk, 3-time undisputed champion of the world, there's no doubt in my mind he takes the #1 spot for pound. And not forgetting, it's 2 different weights. And it's not just that, it's the fashion in which he does it. It's clinical. He cleaned up in the amateurs than the pros. He's just built different. He's been fighting the best, no questions asked, going into the lion's den time and time again. His wins are so clean, he's not in wars, he takes care of business, comes back like he's been to the shops. And amongst all of this, he's been to war. The way he carries himself is impeccable. I couldn't think of a better man, a person, to represent the sport of boxing. He's beaten the best at heavyweight, not once, but twice. AJ, Fury, and now Daniel Dubois. At this point, I just feel he should retire. He's got nothing to prove. And I felt this way after Fury too, after beating Daniel at 38. What's left? Let me know what you think. Please let me know in the comment section. I love to read them. And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Paulie Malignagi's praise for Usyk focused on the smart, thoughtful way he fights. Unlike many boxers today who rely on power or flashy moves, Usyk combines intelligence with perfect timing. His footwork is quiet but effective, with every angle change creating openings or stopping his opponent from landing clean shots. This calculated movement allows him to break opponents down without needing a knockout. He uses rhythm to cause confusion and controls space to dominate every moment of the fight. Malignaggi sees
match, stops him early. Was it 4 or 5? I don't even. I'm so caught up in the moment. I don't even know which round it was. It was 4 or 5. But man, it was in the first half of the fight. What a performance by Alexander Usyk. And a lot to discuss here, guys. A lot to break down here. First off, Dubois much more successful in the first fight than the second fight. Was the wet ring? Did the wet ring have anything to do with it? I saw in the post-fight interview, Dubois was asked about why he couldn't land his jab. What do you guys think? Was obviously Usyk's gonna make some adjustments. I think the adjustments are gonna be made in rematches. But did the wet ring? Because I thought the wet ring had a big part to do with why Usyk had some trouble in that first fight. And a wet ring hurts footwork guys more. I was a footwork guy. I've worked out sometimes in wet rings. It's frustrating. I've actually thrown temper tantrums in gyms over rings being too wet. So I mean back in the day, not now. But what I'm saying is, to fight in a wet ring, that had to have some effect on Usyk and his footwork, because he's a footwork guy. And tonight you just saw his footwork was stupendous, magnificent. Dubois tried to come out pressuring. But and what he tries to do, he tries to create that panic in you, because he's a puncher. So he tries to create that panic to where you start moving too much. And especially at an older Usyk, maybe he'll get tired out by moving too much. But Usyk keeps his steps, his moves so short, so tight. And because they're short and tight, they're not burning a lot of energy, number one. And number two, he's able to throw punches off those moves because they're in so tight that he doesn't really lose the punching distance and punching range, on top of always being well balanced when he makes that sidestep. He likes to make that sidestep a lot to the right-hander's weak side. And, he was doing that very, very well tonight. A lot of times he'll make that sidestep without punching. A lot of times he'll sidestep as he's throwing the left hand. Then he varies the left hand with a straight shot around the side. I think that's a really sneaky shot against opposing stances. I used to like to use it against southpaws as well. That wide right hand against southpaws. Obviously, the southpaw will like to use it against right-handers. Sometimes that wide left hand. Sometimes people say, "I'll throw straight right hand against a southpaw." For a southpaw, throw straight left hand against a right-hander. But if you mix them and sometimes throw it wide, obviously calculating your distances correctly, it can have a lot of effect, and also it can prevent the opponent from getting not just a timing, but also a anticipation for your backhand punches, because sometimes they're coming straight and sometimes they're coming in from around the side. And I think Usyk really masters that very well. If that was a punch actually Pacquiao knocked out Hatton with, which is a wide left hand.